Welcome to our second practice tutorial of Feather. In this video, I will explain how to create 3D illustrations. Together, we'll draw a Korean street food cart while practicing various features of Feather. If you are new to the app, I recommend starting with the basic tutorial series. Okay, let's get started. Let's begin with a rough sketch to set the position of each element. First, rename the group to Sketch. Just like taking rough sketch before diving into the main work, Feather requires the same approach. We'll start by sketching the street food cart, which will be the center of the illustration. Draw a guide for the cart's height and lower its opacity. This stage is simply for figuring out the size and location of the parts, so don't try to put too much detail into it. Draw the main cart's pole. Copy the curve, then move it using the joystick. Draw a guide for the roof. Move the camera to the front, then sketch the front of the roof. Let's use duplicate symmetrically for symmetrical parts. Select the curves for the front of the roof, move them to the center of the screen, tap the second button in the bottom to duplicate them. Let's do the same for the side of the canopy. Draw the canopy visible from the side. Move the camera to the front, then duplicate symmetrically to align with the center. It's much faster this way. Let's also add chairs. Next, we'll draw the table and characters in front of the cart. Characters add engaging stories and bring life to illustrations. In this tutorial, we'll quickly create some in 2.5D style. Draw a dog facing a character. Add a street lamp in the background. Let's adjust the position of the objects slightly. Looks much better. Now let's dive into the illustration. To avoid confusing the sketch lines with the other artwork, select the group and adjust its opacity to 20%. Change the background color to the mood you want. Add a new group named Main Cart. Switch to Draw Shape by tapping the icon. Draw a guide for the table's height and lower its opacity. Switch to the rectangle brush. Set its size to 150 and opacity to 100%. Draw the table's thickness first. Then select the curves you just drew and change their color as you like. To draw the top of the table, move the guide slightly upward, switch to the flat brush, and set its size to 300. Remove the guide and draw the bottom of the cart. Copy, rotate, and complete the 4 sides. Draw a guide to align with the bottom part of the cart. Draw 2 poles and copy them to the back. Since we'll be using lighting effects actively, select the curve, tap the second icon, and turn on the render mode in the stage panel. Next, go to the Environment tab. Tap Lighting. Change the light color to a warm yellow, and turn on the ground shadow option. Doesn't it look more vibrant already? Now, add a new group called Foods. We'll draw some iconic Korean street foods. Switch the drawing mode by tapping the pencil icon. Select the ribbon brush and set its size to 300. We'll learn how to use the ribbon brush effectively. First, draw a pot, dividing its sections from the top like this. Move it down. Then let's draw the food items inside. Switch to the ribbon brush, change the color, and set the size to 70. This food is a fish cake skewers, which is called odang. It's wavy and skewered. To show their texture, apply a pattern to them. Duplicate the skewers several times and place them naturally. Let's turn off the sketch group for a moment as it might be a bit distracting. Next, we'll stack some fried foods into a pile. Copy them and move them upward, repeating the process. A final dish we'll draw is tteokbokki, spicy rice cakes. Move the guide up and draw the rice cakes. Tteokbokki, odeng, and fried snacks are some of Korea's most popular street foods. Now let's add a new tent group and draw the canopy covering the main cart. Turn the sketch group back on. After drawing the roof guide, hold the Close Guide button and drag it upward to save it. You can check it in the second tab of the stage panel. Double-tap Surface and name it Roof. You can also control its size. To add more guides, press the first button at the bottom. Use the Bend tool to create a U-shaped guide for the canopy's side like this. Save this guide as Side. You can disable the guide you want by tapping the cube icon once. The icon will turn gray. Now, let's draw the roof. Change its color. Select the flat brush, set the size to 300, and switch the drawing mode. Draw one section. Duplicate it. Change its color, and paste it again. For the back of the roof, duplicate it symmetrically like we done before. Activate the side guide by tapping the cube twice and draw the canopy's side. Fill it in, change its color, and set its opacity to 50% to create a translucent effect. Duplicate it symmetrically for the opposite side. Use the liquefy tool to refine its shape. Apply a pattern to the entire canopy. Next, we'll draw a menu board inside the canopy. Move the guide slightly forward. Change the pattern and material, and write down the menu names. Now, let's turn on some light bulbs inside. Set the brush size to 90. Select the third material. And adjust the glow area to 90% in the Environment tab. For more glowing effect, switch to the flat brush. Set the size to 100 and opacity to 10%, creating a soft light spread. Add in wire that the light bulbs will hang on. Now let's add a new group called Background. Switch to the rectangle brush, size to 300, and use the shaded material. Draw a street lamp. Start by drawing the pole, then copy it to form a cross shape. Add a pole with light emanating from it as well. Change the material and then draw the light. Turn off the grid in the Environment tab and turn the sketch group back on. Now let's draw the table and chairs for the characters. Draw a guide for the table's height, change its color, and draw the thickness. Move the guide slightly upward. Switch to the flat brush and draw the top side. Duplicate the table legs to finish. Now let's draw the chairs. Switch the drawing mode, change the color, and press and hold to draw a circle for the seat. Then, use the bend tool to bend the guide for the chair legs. Draw the legs at each angle. Copy and paste the chair to the desired location. Rotate and change their color. Finally, add some bottles and plates to the table for decoration. We're almost there. Now, let's add a new group called Character and start drawing them. Draw a guide aligned to the center of the chair. Set the size to 30, change the color, and draw the face and body. Drawing characters in 2D with just a little bit of depth is an easy, effective way to make stories in Feather. Remove the guide and create a new one to match the angle of the front arm. The key point of this drawing is giving some gap between the guides, letting it look more three-dimensional. Do the same to the arms and legs in the back. Draw a cup in the character's hand as well. Let's draw a cute dog next to the character. Use the injector to extract the property of the curves you've drawn. Now, since we'll be adding colors, turn off the sketch group and create a new group called Character Color. Change to the color you want, then draw a guide just behind the lines to avoid unwanted overlap. Switch to the flat brush and select the flat material. Paint the face and the body first. Remove the guide and create a new one for the arms. Repeat the process for the arm in the back. Color the legs as well. Next, draw a guide wrapping around the top of the face. Change the color and adjust the brush size to 20. Add a necktie wrapping around the head. Remove the guide and create a new one for the dog. Extract the colors using the injector tool and draw the dog. Then press and hold on the character color group and apply a pattern like this. Add a guide behind the character and add more items like a bag in front of the chair. Use the joystick to adjust the size and position. Create a new group called Character Light. Now let's add highlights to the character. Select the flat brush, change the color, set the size to 10, and adjust the transparency to 70%. Switch to the glow material. Draw highlights to areas where the light may hit. Select the curves and slightly increasing their size if you think the highlights are too thin. Continue adding highlights to the arms and legs. Now let's add highlights to the dog as well. We may need to draw the guide for the front leg a bit further forward. Now we're done with the characters. It seems that we need to draw more light effects to the background as well. Let's tap on the light group and draw more lights. Draw a guide on the roof. Increase the brush size and lower the transparency to 5%. If it feels too thin, adjust the brush size. Place a guide directly above the cart and sketch light effects based on the positioning of the light bulbs. Next, switch the drawing mode and draw a grid to the floor. Using a wide brush, paint the light reflected on the ground from the street lamp with a big circle. Select the curves and slightly increase their size if you need to. Let's add some cartoon-style light effects for the street lamp. Add lights reflected on the chair as well. Select the lines over here we drew earlier. Switch them to the glow material and adjust their color. We're done with the drawing. Let's add some more effects for the final touch. Go to the Environment tab and turn on Depth of Field to blur distant areas. Make sure to turn on the Pin Orbit Point option and press and hold on where you want to focus. Looks great, and it's done. Thank you for following along. We can't wait to see more amazing works you create and share with us soon. See you next time.